Hello, hello. Welcome to Mohi Media. Sorry for the 7-minute delay to the start, but thank you again for joining me. Today is the third night in a row as we work towards acquiring 50K in inventory. That is the goal. So, kind of how I've talked to fellow traders is kind of how these weeks will go when you're trading full time. Is it'll be an entire week of buying inventory, an entire week of selling, and then you'll have another buy week essentially. So we'll see if that's how this plays out. If you're new, if you're just tuning in, my name is Mohi. Welcome to Mohi Media. My goal is to become the Ivy League's watch guy over the next 2 years. And to be like actually recognized as that. And I'm currently in an Airbnb in Florida, moving to an actual place to live at the end of the month, and then commuting between here and Chicago kind of regularly. And I recently left engineering to become a full-time watch trader, overall like luxury asset consultant. So, I want to be the Ivy League's watch guy there, and then the luxury asset consultant in general, basically like the person they come to when they need to buy a watch, sell a watch, they're not sure what to do with their watch collection, they're not sure what they might want. I can consult them on that purchase, make a very educated decision, and then also help them find or sell that watch, leveraging my network, the people I know, etc. So that's watches, and then I have other resources too if they're interested in luxury or exotic cars, yacht brokers. I'm friends with some yacht brokers, jewelry stores, etc. And then uh, even like luxury handbags or something. So, I have the connect for all of those. And that's what I mean by becoming the luxury asset manager for the Ivy League and then anybody else that's willing to watch and learn from me. So, to cover what kind of happened the last couple of days, on Monday we streamed for 4 hours and I hunted watches under 40K. And then yesterday was the price analysis on I'm sorry, I hunted watches on Monday under 50K, like trying to spend 50K, but I found a whole bunch under 10K, very like entry level friendly. And then uh, so I found way more than I was expecting. We had like 40 leads or something, like 40 listings where like I'm confident, you know, uh, let's say out of those 40 leads, I'm confident 6 will convert, which is pretty good. Like for most people, if they're new, a good metric to go for is one. Like if you're looking at 20 watches for sale online and you're trying to get them at a price where you can make some money on it, uh, you know, I I think beginners are better off shooting for like 1 in 20, sets like the right expectations. Me, I'm a little bit more picky with who I even bother reaching out to, so my conversion has been more like 3 in 20. And so we have these, 40 leads under 10K. So just doing the math there, that should be about 6 watches that I end up getting in inventory at various price points. And then we'll see if that ends up spending how much of my money that ends up spending if those close. And then so that was Monday. Yesterday we streamed for 6 hours as I did like I looked at each of those leads and then looked at the comparable listings on the market to kind of understand like, okay, based on what's on the market, what am I going to use to negotiate? And then, how am I going to figure out prices? I can't disclose how I come up with my prices. That's proprietary information because I learned how to trade watches from Watch Trading Academy. You may be seeing their ads all over YouTube or Instagram, etc. Long time ago, back in 2015, I followed the Instagram accounts, and then after 2 years of like not trusting the what I was being told, I PJ, who runs the course, at one point posted a video on the car side, not just watches, but on his exotic cars course, exotic car hacks course. He posted a video kind of explaining the depreciation schedule and the residual value of like a Lamborghini after 5 versus 10 years, and where you'd want to buy it to minimize your loss. And I was like, man, that makes like too much sense. And so I think I bought Secret Entourage, which is more about like personal development and business, and then self awareness, etc. Then I bought Exotic Car Hacks, and then I wasn't ever really a watch guy until about college, and the third and final course I bought was Watch Trading Academy, and since then I've gone on to take the advanced courses and whatnot because I very quickly made my money back on my investment for those entry level courses, and then I stepped up to the more advanced courses, made my money back on those, and this became a nice hobby as I was an engineer for a couple years out of grad school, and then I over very recently I made the plunge to just, hey, I have the capital now accrued up, and I have some experience under my belt now because I've been doing this kind of as a hobby for a couple years now. But now this is the time to take it seriously. So I went full time trading. So I'm replacing my engineering income with just consulting clients on watches, buying and selling, etc. So here we go. The name of the game tonight is we are sourcing leads for the watches over 10K. We'll see what we find. Admittedly, this is the area that I'm the weakest in. Like under 10K, I'm like very comfortable shopping. My expertise goes down significantly when we're dealing with a lot of watches that you'll see tonight. Just because I've only handled a couple at this price point, to be honest. Just because I was an engineer, it was hard for people to believe an engineer could be like selling an AP, right? That's like bizarre. Selling watches that are worth more than my car, like that just doesn't. It it's a stretch to make someone trust you when you're in that position. So anyway, I mainly stuck to watches under 10K. I started selling over 10K, and I realized how amazing the clientele was over 10K. They're just so easy to work with. There's more money to be made for the same amount of time invested with cooler watches, and the clientele's better. So it only gets better as you go up. And so now that I have abundant capital, now I can do a couple deals over 10K, 20K, etc. And I will rapidly be scaling that up. So let's go ahead and get started. I guess some disclosures to get out of the way. Like I said, I was trained by Watch Trading Academy. I can't share any proprietary information. Feel free to ask questions, whether it's about watches, whether it's about what I'm doing, or it's about the courses that I've gotten. And I will answer to the best of my ability as long as I don't have to give away something proprietary to answer your question. But I'd be happy to help. I think there's still a lot I can share and be of value to you if you're a collector, if you're a hobby trader, if you're a wholesaler. If you've been in the business for a while, I don't think there's a whole lot I can really teach you. I don't know what I would know that you wouldn't already know. We're probably all in the same groups, etc. So, there's nuggets of information here. I'm pretty good at talking. I can go on rants pretty easily as I run into things, and so, that's the name of the game. I want to just make it very clear, like nobody from Watch Trading Academy is telling me to do this. They don't, as far as I know, like they're not like double checking that I'm saying only nice things. I just genuinely am saying really nice things because I've gotten a lot out of it, and I've gained a huge community out of it. Like the WTA network, I now have friends in every city I could possibly travel to, so that's always really nice. And then making money is also really nice, and wearing these really nice watches and getting to try things I maybe never would have normally tried is really nice because my standards for like what I thought I could achieve in terms of like buying a watch, like spending money on a watch, my standards were very low. And then I got into this course and I realized I'm not spending the money, I'm parking a portion of it, and only a portion of it is really at risk. And I can recoup that by learning how to sell properly. And so now I can buy all these watches that if I was forced to collect, I wouldn't even bother with them. But now since I can have them all, I can buy a whole bunch and trade in and out of them and be very happy. And I've come to appreciate certain watches that I would never have bought otherwise. Like, funny enough, before I joined Watch Trading Academy, I didn't know what Panerai was. Then I found out what Panerai was, and I really didn't like the brand. But then I got offered a really good deal on one. I made really good money on one. And after owning it for a while, I was like, wow, I really like these. I never would have bought one of these had I not, and it's nice to make money on it, of course. But the ownership experience changes it. It's one thing to like get a watch in, review it real quick, and get rid of it. It's another thing to like live with a watch. And in the future, I'll be doing this with like cars and stuff too. It's different to like live with a car and then have an opinion on it. People change their minds all the time. They have a first impression, and then there's like these little details that you don't learn until you actually live with it. So, same thing with a watch. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. We got eBay. We've got Chrono 24. We got Watch Recon. There is a feature in Watch Trading Academy called Watch Scout. I need to double check something with the team at Watch Trading Academy before I put that on stream of me using it. It's a feature that's available to certain members. How I'm going to be doing this is that I have on this screen here where I'm facing the camera, I have eBay Chrono 24. That's the screen I'm sharing. On this screen here, I have the chat, and then I have several tabs open of this proprietary information from the advanced courses in Watch Trading Academy, which will come in. They haven't been too necessary for the under 10K watches, but for the watches that are over 10K, I will be referencing them a lot more. And then I have a little notebook here where I've been making some notes of listings I'm seeing and pricing analyses that I've figured out. And then to keep track of leads, I have this open. So basically, I'm storing in OneNote. Let's see. I'm storing in OneNote the... Where'd it go? Sorry, one second. Let me just find... I had a list of all my leads from yesterday. I better not have just lost them. I'll cry. I will cry on camera if I lost them. Let me see if it's in the other... There we are. Okay, that explains a lot. It was in the other OneNote app on my computer. Okay, cool. All right, so some of the tools I have at my disposal here are... Sorry, one sec, figuring out my screens here. So some of the tools I have at my disposal, thankfully, is a list of best watches to buy under certain price points. I have what are called the BCV charts. Again, I can't show this. I have another list of like best watches to buy. And then also a new feature they added was basically a roadmap to starting with like nothing. Starting with, let's see, what do they have on here? Starting with under 5K, a roadmap to make 100K profits in a year. So I have that available to me as well. But obviously I can't share that, but I will be like referencing that a lot and following it. If anybody joins this stream and has questions for me, happy to answer what I can without giving away any proprietary information, as I've said before. So let's see. So today we're looking for Hublot, more expensive Panerai, Ulysse Nardin, IWC. What you'll notice with some of the brands tonight, as opposed to the brands we were looking at on Monday night and yesterday, is this is where having resources and the real data comes into play, because we're going to see some watches listed today that I gave the example yesterday. There are gold IWCs out there that are 40 something K MSRP, pre-owned, they're listed for 20, and dealers or other people like me are buying them at like 12 to try and sell at like 15 to 16. And that might sound like a crazy margin to you, but then you realize that depending on the person, they might invest 12K into that watch, and it's going to take them 3 months. Tying up 12K for 3 months to sell it for 16, and that might be worth it to some people, and for some people that's not worth it. And then other people, hopefully people like me, can work really hard to sell that watch and get that nice big margin fast. But it's a risk to take on, and so that's why the margins have to accommodate for that. So right, we have one viewer in the chat, no idea who that is. Hopefully they introduce themselves, and then if they're on Twitch or they're on YouTube, I can see the comments, and then like I said, I will answer questions as they come in. Last night I think we only had like one person, but on Monday it was popping. Had a couple messages, a little bit of back and forth. As I keep doing this and as I keep getting content from it, and I'm sure more and more people from Watch Trading Academy and other people that kind of take notice that follow me on Instagram. Also, tonight was really really late notice. I think I posted at like 7 p.m. that I'm going live at 9 p.m. Today was really hectic. I was on the phone a lot as I'm figuring out going back to Chicago for the weekend for moving some stuff. And then, sorry, just logging into things off screen here. Give me that. All right. And believe it or not, I mean, yesterday was wild. I was up very late. Stream ended at like 2 in the morning. And I still haven't messaged all these people, so how I think this will go is I'll gather leads from tonight, and then tomorrow, probably not on stream, just because I really need to like get going on this, is any interesting watches that I find tonight that are like nice big margin pieces, I will message tonight or tomorrow, and then I'll basically like work backwards. I'll work from the expensive pieces down to the cheap pieces, all those leads, and see whatever converts. And so then hopefully I have inventory by the end of as early as the end of the week or next week when I'm back from Chicago. And then that whole week will be a sell week, and I can focus on more, rather than like live streaming what I'm doing, more specific content of like making a video on properly like listing your watch on eBay, maybe little short snippets from the live short snippets from the live stream, like any rant I went on or whatever, like kind of going more in detail in that. Any other topics I've brought up in that regard. So yeah, probably during the sell weeks, those will be the videos I make, versus during the buy weeks, I'm live streaming. And really in the future, I want this to be more of just a Q&A, and then answering questions that I'm allowed to answer, or directing people where they can find the answers. And then, we'll see how the game changes for me. Cool. Let's see here. I'll deal with that offer later. All right, it has been a long time since I've been trying to buy a watch in this price range. So let's see what we got here. Let's just see what is on the market for Hublot. When it comes to Hublot, the watches I'm like very interested in would be something like a Mecha 10, but they're very hard to find because they're super popular. I don't do auctions. This one looks like somebody in the business, so I'll skip that. And hopefully we can pick up the pace a little bit more. If you really want like more in-depth stuff, you can watch Monday's stream. And also the stream I did a full month ago, where I'm doing things a little bit more slowly and explaining myself. But I think you'll pick up on the pattern of like which of these listings am I actually clicking on versus which ones am I not. I'm very familiar with this watch. I've held this watch before. That's a tough sell. Here's a nice Mecha 10. I think I brought this up on the stream yesterday. I would love one of these. Let's see, bid. One of the things you have to watch out for with Hublot is I know people always talk about like fake Rolexes all the time. Hey, Bravery, welcome back. Glad to see you back on the stream. And then I appreciate you chipping in last night. And one of the things to watch with Hublot is people talk all the time about fake Rolexes. Fake Hublots. I mean, there's some really bad ones. There are like some $300 really easy to spot Hublot fakes. If I see one, I'll point it out to you. But then there are some alarmingly good ones out there. I told a story last night about how PJ was one time sold, PJ being the founder of Exotic Car Hacks, Watch Trading Academy, Secret Entourage, and like 19 other businesses that most people don't even know about. And uh, PJ was one time sold like a fake Hublot, and he felt, as somebody that's like traded a bunch of them, he felt something was off. He took it to a couple dealers, and two watchmakers gave him the okay, but he's like, man, something is like just not right about this thing. I can't tell what it is. He went and got another one that he had and held them side by side, and they did look identical, but one of them was a millimeter like thicker than the other. And so one he knew was real and one he wasn't sure about, and sure enough the fake one was like 1 millimeter thicker or wider or something. And so that is how good some of these fakes have gotten, and that is why you would want to work with someone like me, or somebody that has a reputation to maintain, that if they accidentally sell you a fake, they're going to make sure they solve that problem for you and make you whole, because the watch business is entirely reputation based. If I was to scam someone tomorrow, that person would simply have to like tell one person in the business, like on any of these like go on any Facebook group, post in any watch, and I encourage you to do this. If somebody screws you over, go on any Facebook watch group, like that buys and sells anything, and say, hey, this individual who looks like he's trying to be in the watch business screwed me over. Here's how, here's proof. We'll see what they have to say on their side once they're called out. I promise you, if they are clearly at fault, by tomorrow they don't even exist in the business. They're done for. Everybody knows by the next day, and so they know if that person was willing to scam you, they're willing to scam other people. And I mean that it literally happens in 24 hours. So and reputation is everything in business in general, in life in general, but especially in the watch business. And so when it comes to dealing with fakes, like you want it, like this is the benefit of working with someone like me that's gonna do what it takes to make it right. Also, I do a little bit higher margin. I'm never the cheapest guy. I do a little bit higher margin plays. Other people do more volume. One of the benefits of not doing as much volume is I can spend a lot of time looking at every watch I get. So to date, I've never had a fake slip past me, and nobody has. I mean, it's possible one's floating out there, but it's it's been it's been a very long time, and no one has raised a flag, or said, hey, the watch you sold me a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago was fake. That hasn't happened. So, and that is, and part of the reason is I have the time to look at every single watch I get, every client I have. I spend a lot of time with, as opposed to if somebody does a lot of volume, they can't afford to chit chat all day with somebody and really get to know them and really get to like investigate the watch. It's I'm not hustling watches. I'm hustling in general in life, but I'm not working that fast with watches, so I can avoid mistakes in the first place. Sorry, more Hublots. I don't like auctions just because they get a little confusing and messy. People want to wait until the last minute to see what they've really been offered. Mm-mm. This listing is by somebody in Watch Trading Academy, I can tell. I think same here. Marriage Tag Heuer Carrera. Okay. Whatever that means. Hublot, Big Bang, Ice. I've never heard of this. I don't think. These are really dope. Spirit of Big Bang, Mecha 10. I'm pretty confident this is. I'm pretty confident this may have been on PJ's newsletter or something, so I'm sure a ton of people have messaged this person already. Let's see what's on the second page here. Another Mecha 10. This listing looks really familiar to me. I think this has been up for millennia, so I'm going to ignore it. White is like normally not a great watch color for men in general. It's usually seen as like a girl's color, but when it comes to Hublot, like think of like who the consumer base is for Hublot. Like people want attention on the wrist. People want other. It's a flex piece. You know, there's nothing subtle about a Hublot, and that's fine. Like that's what they're going for. That's how they compete against these other brands. I mean, I'll pull it up just in case. But let's see here. There are more Hublot listings that are worth looking at than I thought. These ultra thins are interesting. I didn't know they made an Alinghi King Power, because there's the Alinghi AP, Audemars Piguet Alinghi, and then there's the new Omega one. I didn't know they did one with Hublot, but Hublot, it can get kind of tough when you're dealing with 48 millimeter. That's a very, very large watch size. It only fits a certain demographic of people, and like you limit. Like I have a client that's like 6'7". He would love this, but he's not a Hublot guy. Like it doesn't like match who he is. He's a salesman, like a medical device salesman. That doesn't fit. That's not something I'd recommend for him. So, uh, you're limiting yourself to like a very, very niche audience when you're dealing with a 48 millimeter Hublot. So, gonna pass on that. Classic Fusion Titanium. This hand looks like the same hand as that was like up here or something. Uh, did I miss this? Let's take a look at that. The one really tricky thing with Hublot, man, is like you gotta really know who you're buying from, because again, the chance of a fake is pretty high, and uh, there's some really good fakes out there. This is one where you really want to know who you're working with. 41 millimeter, I'm gonna avoid too. I'm really only looking at 44 millimeters. That's like a good size. They've got the pool in the background. I feel like the anybody that has like the pool in the background is trying to copy Camden's old listings, which Camden doesn't do that anymore. But I'll see. That's probably a trader. This is probably a trader. This is probably a jeweler. I'll just click it to prove my point. I know Camden has this piece. He might. No, he had this in gold. Never mind. I lied. Bravery, any questions so far? I see you're still in the chat. And I know you talked to me on Instagram after yesterday's call, but I don't remember your name. I apologize. It's like Phil or something. By the way, happy to have you here, even if you're just sitting in silence and learning. This is a maybe. Wow, there's a lot of these. I'm really surprised I'm clicking on this many. This is going to be Brian's list. And actually, no, not Brian. This will. Oh, why can't I think of his name? I know whose watch this is. This is a really, really cool watch. Gonna pass on that. This is interesting. Okay, I'm kind of like dumbfounded. I'm clicking on as many as I am. Like really, like this has been the trend this whole week. Oh, my bad, Bravery. You're not Phil. You didn't message me yesterday? I thought somebody did. Maybe that was Monday. I'm blurring. Like I streamed for 6 hours yesterday. I've lost all concept of time. Uh, but since Monday, I have seen way more like like when I say deals on the market, I mean like listings that I'd even consider talking to. Like these like jeweler listings, like this is like Joma Shop or something. Like I would never even like bother messaging them. Like in the past, I've gone on the market, looked for Hublot. I don't remember what I typed in, but like this would be all like this one line is would be all you see where like I know none of these watches are actually in possession and this is the only real watch. There's only one thing I'm going to click on versus as you've just seen. I mean, look how many tabs I have open for just Hublot. Oh, I did not know they made the Orlinsky in white. I mean, the blue is really hot up here. I didn't know they made this in white. I'm gonna take a look at that, even though I don't think that's somebody I can work with based on the photo. This looks odd. I just want to check it out. Modified, probably not going to be interested at all, but I'll just put it up on screen anyway. All right, let's look through some of these. Hublot Big Bang Unico 42 millimeter. I don't think these come in a 42. This is supposed to be a 44. So I think what he really means by 42 is that it's a 41. Unless I'm dumb. It's possible I'm dumb. It's very easily possible for me to be dumb. Let's see. I'm gonna reference the charts. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to touch this. Big Bang Unico 42. Yeah, it's really got to be 44 for me to look at it. That's a bummer. Are these really? Hold on. I need to see if this is like really a 42 millimeter. Okay, let's see here. Hublot Big Bang Unico. I know this isn't a direct comp, but oh, 42. I lied. These come in a 44? Let's find out. Okay, yeah, so it looks like they come in a 44, so I'm really only looking for 44. I'll have to kind of reference the group to see if 42 is worth it, but I'm leaning on no. So I will trash this listing for a while. Let's see what else comes up because I clicked on it. 42, 44, 42. I think I clicked on this. If not, I'll take that. That's an auction. Otherwise, I would look at it. Big Bang Ferrari. An auction. Bummer. So they're using this BNIB that's brand new inbox. That terminology is normally someone that's on the forums or somebody that's in the business to a degree. So just probably not someone I want to work with on this piece. I mean, it's possible. Like when you start dealing with Hublots, like a lot of people that are not, how do I say this? Like Hublots don't sell themselves, and so sometimes people get into these Hublots, and the only way they're buying them is at like crazy low dollars that they're guaranteed to make money. And so then I can come in, like let's for example, this Hublot Mecha 10, it's listed at 16K. Let's just pretend that you're supposed to, like a dealer would pay 10, and you're trying to sell for like 13. Well, these guys might buy it for 10, and they might honestly struggle to sell it for the kind of money they need for it, and it might just sit there for a long time, like no interest or whatever. I come along and I'm like, hey, I know you're trying to make 3. How about you make 1, and I will work to make the other 2. So they make $1,000, I'm in it at 11, and then I sell it to a full retail client by hunting them down, finding the person for that watch for 13. and that's how that relationship can play out. So that, I mean, that makes what I just described, that happens more often in the 10K plus watches. There's enough margin to go around, and some of the stuff gets hard to sell. Versus at the lower end entry level, there's a lot of like popular watches. A lot of things sell themselves. Like that would, what I just described would never happen with a Rolex. Like there's usually not enough margin to go around, and the watches sell themselves. Like they're not going to sit on it for a very long time. But let me see just how much this person has in inventory. Okay. Osprey, Florida. I don't know where that is. Okay, this doesn't look naked. That's good. Box and papers are like really important. Bought in Switzerland. That's dope. Wow, 10 years ago. They're reducing the size of their watch collection. Okay, let's take a quick look. So is that scratch in the gold in the corner there? It's not the end of the world. The problem with polishing gold is you literally remove a layer of gold when you polish it. So some of these, like, imagine some of these like gold Rolexes from the 80s or something. If they've been polished a lot, they'll literally like weigh a different amount, like noticeably weigh a different amount than other gold watches. And then if they've been over polished, like you can see that in the material. Right, so one scratch there. It's dark though. That's like kind of odd for the scratch to be that dark. Like I'd have to see it in person or on a video or something, but I probably still would polish that. Just because it's a gold Hublot bezel. Like no one's really gonna. If it was like a solid gold watch, different scenario for polishing. But if it's like just a gold bezel, it I think you can polish it, and especially on a Hublot. Like I don't think that's a. It's not. It just doesn't make sense compared to like an all gold Rolex or something. That you want to like avoid polishing. The reason a lot of people hate Hublot is that they, for the longest time, were using like relatively cheaper movements, Miyota movements, I want to say, which is probably what this is, in their watches. And so the watches were like all flash and nothing special on the inside. That is slowly changing. The new Unicos, and especially the Mecha 10, like those are solid, like well made watches, even from a snobby standpoint. I think the misunderstanding is simply like Hublot has a certain target audience. It is young money, it's new money, it's flash, it's people need to know that I'm a baller, and there is a market for that. Like when you're balling out at the club, you know, what gets more eyes, like a white ceramic Hublot or a stainless steel Rolex? I mean, a bunch of guys probably might care more about the stainless steel Rolex, but I mean, you get the idea. Okay, I like this listing. So let's see here. This is an interesting combo. It's titanium and rose gold, so you have something heavy and something light. Rose gold is heavy, titanium is light. Even 10 years ago, Hublot was on something. No other items. I'm dealing with a real adult here. That wasn't sarcastic. I genuinely mean that. So that's always nice. Cool. I will pocket that. I'll do the price analysis on this later. Let's get through all the. You know what I'll do? I'll get through all the Hublots and then I'll do price analysis. And if I'm still streaming, if there's still time, then I'll go to another brand. So all right, let's see what this brings up. I mean, it brings up its other comps, and if I did I read this right? This one's only 75. This comp is at 10K. That's pretty aggressive. I imagine this one's like newer. But let's see what's going on there. Right. Let's see. Why is this one 10K? Why is the other one not? Oh yeah, it is newer. Definitely. Like that's a newer box. Newer it's like the newer Hublots have this like I've felt it before. It's very nice. It's like this like I think they call it like the gummy strap where it looks like leather but it's actually like this like hard rubber. I'm a fan. Titanium King Rose Gold. This person photographed the gold a little bit better. So you can see this is hotter. This one I don't think I'd polish if I got this one. And I would use the other guy as leverage. Like, hey, that guy's selling his for 7.5. I have him down to, I don't know, 6 or something. And so I know you're listed at 10, buddy, but you know, can you make something else work? Something along those lines. This person looks like they know what they're doing when it comes to selling, though. "31 watchers, interesting. From Washington. They sold their Mercedes-Benz G55. All right. So I know they're a Mercedes fan. Next, they bought something golf related. More golf stuff. Okay, so they're a golfer. Not surprised. Lots of golf, actually. And I just have notes of that. I'll pocket this listing. I think they're not as aggressively priced as the other one, but you know, like this is someone I can build more of a rapport with, and there's a chance. Who knows how long he's had it for sale? I recognize this name. These photos, they look like Wins, but I don't think this is Win. It's probably someone that works for Win. Who's a dealer. Or somebody that like studied Win's listings and wanted to do it that way. I'm pretty confident I know who this person is. Or that I do know who, like I know this person, I don't know who it is, but I know them. So this is their other listing, which is the Hublot carbon fiber. .42mm Unico. I want something more like this 45mm. I'll have to double check because there's a lot of 42s on the market. I'll have to double check if 42 is really off limits or if that was just for the others. But I think I'm right. I think you want the 44, 45mm Unicos, Hublots in general. You don't want the smaller sizes. Pretty sure. This is fake. I'd be surprised if it was real. But let me see if I can point it out here. this piece right here is usually not seen on high-end watches. I don't remember the actual terms, but I think this is called like a regulator or something. And so advanced movements will not need this piece because through other engineering they can regulate themselves. This piece right here is what cheap movements need in order to do something. I don't know the actual like watchmaker terms, but this is like an easy tell if this is like those like Chinese movements like seagull or something. And so this is like a Chinese movement disguised as a different movement. Let me see if there's other tells on the case. The other tell here would be, do you see how you can see? Let me see. Let me see if there's anybody's asking questions. Bravery, I'll get to your question in a second. Um, so do you see how you can see in the date window? You can already start to see this like other number here from this angle. That would make sense if like it was approaching midnight, and so the date was getting ready to change, but it's past midnight, so the date would have already changed. It's nowhere near the changing time. So the fact that you can see it means that it's like not lined up well. I mean, any like advanced watchmaker, they'd line everything up perfectly so that you only like it's just like a finishing touch. Like there's no way this alignment would be off like this on an authentic watch. But I mean, this looks pretty real unless you know what to look for. It probably sweeps. It's probably a Chinese movement that can at least sweep. But yeah, that date window's throwing me off, and then usually the easier tell is the subdials being like too close to each other. Actually, no, this is you can actually still tell on a Hublot chronograph like this. That subdial will be like almost like cutting into the 4 more, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look up like the original. If I'm wrong, I'm about to. If I'm wrong about this watch, it's gonna be embarrassing. But let's see what's up. Okay, so maybe that subdial distance is fine. I could have sworn it like was like touching the 4 though normally. But I mean, here's an example. You see how from this angle you can only see the 24. You can't see the next number coming. Let's see. Oh, that's the other thing. Hold on. Let's look at the actual homepage. I didn't forget about your question, Bravery. Okay, yeah. So on even cheaper fakes, the other tell is that the subdials are too far away from the 4 o'clock. Or actually, if I'm not mistaken here, that looks okay. See if there's any other like alignment issues. This is a decent fake, but that movement, if that is a real movement, I'd be very disappointed. Let me see if I can see the case back so I can show you what I mean. Are you going to show me the case back? No? See, also, I don't know if you can really tell, but in this photo, oops. In this photo, notice how you can't see that other date approaching, like you could in the fake that we were looking at. Even here, you can't see the next number up there. So just erring on the side of caution. Let me see if I can show the case back what the real movement should look like. It'd be really bad if Hublot like actually had that such a cheap enough movement that it needs that regulating piece. All right, the rotor is covering it. Let's see if they have other photos. That's tough. All right, Bravery, I'll answer your question. So, all right, so Bravery is asking, do you have any recommended jewelers for authentication and polishing? There are none within 1.5 hours of me. Willing to ship if needed. Just need to find a jeweler. Okay, so for polishing, if you check in the Watch Trading Academy resources section, we have a partnership with a couple watchmakers where you can ship out your watch to them. They'll fix it or polish it and then send it back to you. And then also, if you look on Value Your Watch, which is Hansa's website, who's also a member of Watch Trading Academy, he did a blog post of watchmakers that he recommended in every state, like several in every state. So hopefully from there you can see who's the closest to you, and then maybe try and figure out with them if you can ship to them for polishing and ship back, and then also for authentication purposes. Uh, Other than that, I'm trying to think for authentication purposes. What else could you do? Yeah, you said you were looking into maybe using the WTA sponsored one, but open minded to other recommendations. No, the WTA sponsored one should do you fine. They're used to it by now. So, like, here's the thing: they know that this is the situation. They're used to getting watches in this way for polishing and whatnot. You're like the jewelry store, maybe 1.5 hours away. Uh, they might not have such a system in place, and like, yeah, you can call them and be like, hey, I'd like to just ship you the watch I'm looking to polish or whatever, and they might say yes, but like they don't have like a system in place to do work like that versus the one that WTA has in the resource section. Like, they know that they have a whole system in place of watches coming into them to polish. So the other thing I could recommend is if you don't have a like watchmaker, and if you don't have a like if you don't have a watchmaker or even like a watch dealer near you, if you have like any other kind of jewelry store, for certain watches, like as long as it's not like a complicated piece, as long as it's not like too expensive, uh you can go to like regular jewelry stores. Like I used to back in Illinois, because MJ Watch Service in Glenview was too far away from me originally before I had my own place, and I would get things polished in like instead of driving an hour to MJ Watch Repair in Glenview, I would drive 20 minutes to this like regular jewelry store, and the watches I was asking them to polish were like more expensive than any of the watches they even sold in the store. But they were simple pieces. They were like Panerai under 5K or Planet Oceans under 5K. So if they were willing to mess up, if they messed up, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And they did a pretty good job. And yeah, I never had issues. Now, if it was like a 10K, 20K, if it was like a 20K AP or something, okay, maybe I'll drive the hour to go to MJ Watch Repair to get that watch polished. But so if you have any other jewelry stores, you can do that. Actually, since you, uh, okay, sorry, Bravery, you asked me another question here. I have places around for polishing, but none for authentication. They all say they have to send it to the manufacturer. So if you, okay, this is a comment. It's basically because like nobody wants to take on the risk of like they said this was real, and then it turns out to be not real, it throws their whole reputation into balance, right? You kind of have to like build a relationship with some of these people. So for example, like MJ Watch Repair, I go and I gave them a lot of business, and then I would essentially be like, hey, can you take a look at this and give me your like best opinion? I'm not like, holding you to it. I don't want you to sign anything or an appraisal. Like some of these places they'll do like an appraisal or something, an authentication and appraisal where they'll charge you like $500. They want to ship the watch out to the manufacturer and then get it back, and it's this whole process. Um, yeah, it's tough if you don't have like a watchmaker anywhere near you. Just you have to just like you just have to, yeah, it that's literally what they said. It's almost like I've done this before. So um so yeah, they're all like that. It is what it is. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else you could do for authentication purposes. I feel like you have to just, well, one, you could, I don't know how old you are. I don't know where you're at in life, but if this is something you like really want to do, you might move. And then if that's not feasible or realistic at all, you can. The only real thing I can think of, I think you should also ask this in the Facebook group for Watch Trading Academy. I'd be curious to hear what the other veterans have to say. My guess would be uh, do enough business with any like watchmaker and then be like, hey man, I'm sending this to you to like polish or take a look at. Can you just give me like a second opinion on it? I don't need anything official. Like basically take the pressure off them by basically saying like, hey, I'm not gonna cause you a headache if you're like wrong, but I would like a second opinion because the chances are like they can look at it and they can just kind of see the fit and finish of the movement, especially, and give you their best idea. The other thing, and obviously you should try and authenticate any watch that you get, but the other thing to like just hedge against this is really know who you're doing business with, and you don't have this problem if the person you're buying the watch from already had it authenticated. Like if you're buying it from me, you don't have to worry as much because you probably know I've already authenticated it, right? And I've probably bought from somebody that I vetted that also is not likely to send me a fake. Like, do you understand like that chain of like trust? And obviously, every now and then it gets broken, but that's how you can kind of like hedge your bets there in case you do run into a fake. So it starts with you. It starts with who are you buying from? How much like research are you doing, like looking at the comparables? You can also, every watch you're about to buy, like post it in the group and ask people for their second thoughts, but you need like good photos for that. And then finally, like when you yourself get it, send it to a watchmaker. Maybe see if the one that's a resource for WTA, if they're willing to give you second opinions, not official authentications, but second opinions. The other thing is, if you go to like an AD or like a big, like just a really like not like a mom and pop shop, but like a real jewelry store, like a Rasney's or a Radcliffe or whatever, yeah, they're gonna tell you like, hey, we got to send this to like corporate or whatever because they're like an AD. They like have to. They probably have to do that, right? They can't just have their watchmaker in the back give you a second opinion. If they're a gray market dealer or a dealer that's not an AD, then they might be able to work with you and give you a second opinion. So see if there's anybody in your area like that you can ship to that is like a legitimate business that you can do that with. So okay, let's see if I can I hope that answered all your questions. Like I said, definitely ask that in the main group to see to in the Facebook group to see what other people have to say. I'm kind of curious what other people say. So right now we are trying to look at movement photos for the watch, so I can really show you guys what I mean by like why I immediately was like, oh, that's fake. These are all covering the important piece. Let's see here. You would think Hublot would have it on their website. Okay, these are just going to be Hublot's photos. Oh, here's a website to buy fakes. That's always fun. Cool. Okay, jazz time. All right. It's probably not going to be apples to apples. Like, I know this has the checkered dial and the black ceramic bezel, but it's essentially the same watch. I mean, okay, I'll go the extra mile. Here's the exact same watch. Do they have case back photos? Case back photos where I can actually see what I need to see. Bummer. This one's 41. Cool, no photos. Great. Chuan watch. Okay, this one's a little different. Okay, cool. These photos are useless. I really want people to see this. Big Bang Tutti Frutti. I love Hublot. I don't know why these aren't loading. It might be my Brave browser. Okay. I have no idea what that was. Okay. All right, let's look on Chrono 24. Hublot Big Bang chronograph. So you can see. Here's one in Germany. I just want the case back photo so I can show this side by side. The rotor is covering the important piece. It's covering the important piece. These people are killing me. I'm dying on the inside. We're all dying. Bravery, glad that information helped you out. I appreciate you popping onto the stream so late at night and asking a question 2 days in a row. I will remember you in therapy. Just jokes. I have no complaints in the world. Okay. Okay, let's look on eBay for other versions of the exact same watch. Big Bang, corner groups. All right, here's another one. Man, I'm gonna look really dumb if I was wrong. I'm dying here. Covering the important piece. And so here's an example of exactly what I mean by it. Like, this is why fakes don't get to me. That looks concerning. Is this a 41 or is it a weird size or something? That date wheel is like changing, but I don't know if it'd be that close to changing at 10 p.m. At 10, 10, 10, 10. I don't know if the you see how the date is transitioning from the 1st to the 31st? Like, I don't think that happens at 10. So, I mean, even if it's not fake, something might be wrong there. New unworn. Really? I don't know. Something looked off there. Okay, we are still looking for a Hublot chronograph where I can actually see the case back so I can show people. Oh, here we are. Okay, finally. Finally, I can show you guys what I mean. All right, let's look at this guy. Let's look here. Okay, have that guy open. This guy open. So now I can show them side by side. Okay. Do you see where this gem is? Okay, perfect. Look at this. I don't know if I can zoom in any further. Maybe you look closely on your screen here. But so this one's real. And you see you have this gem. And then you have, let's see, just making sure I'm getting my orientation right here. Right, okay. So if these are like real true comps or whatever, which I think I pulled the right listing, but essentially, wow, these are totally different. You can really see. I hope I pulled the right comp. I mean, Hublot, Big Bang, 301. Okay, so assuming these are like real comps of each other, and I didn't make a mistake there, because let me see here. Yeah, this is ceramic. It has checkered here, unless it's like newer or something. But if you look here, first of all, this just says Hublot. This says Hublot Geneve. This says Hublot Big Bang. That says Hublot Big Bang. Nothing wrong there. And then this has a number here that doesn't like match what the numbering they're doing here. And then the big tell, the immediate thing that gave it away was this piece right here, this extra piece right here on the movement does not belong on an expensive movement, which I know we people make fun of Hublot for not having the most expensive movements. They're not using $300 Chinese seagull movements. They're not using this. So on the real one here, you can see there are two things sticking out of it, but neither of them are this piece right here. And on all the fakes with this cheap movement, they all look like this right here. Like specifically, you see how there's like two circles? It specifically looks like that every time. So, yeah. Anything else I can point out as to like why this isn't real? This is a above average fake. There's cheaper $300 fakes that are like really bad. You'll see the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, like these will be too big, these indicators, and then you'll see the subdials here will be too close together. They'll be like really tight around the center, and then usually the date window is a disaster. But so yeah, hopefully that was informative. And that's how you avoid buying a fake. Hublot. Let's see what leads we get from that. Serviced Hublot Super B flyback. Cool watch, not for me. All right. This piece is interesting. These Hublots on bracelets with the carbon. These do not. These can be pretty hard to sell sometimes. Even like the gold version of this. The gold version is really cool because it's like gold with a lot of with that black on it. This is nice. It has the eBay authentication authenticated a month ago. But this is Titan Watch Collection, so they're a reseller. So not something I'd want to work with. Like if I'm going to be buying something that's like hard to sell, I need to buy it at like rock bottom pricing. There's definitely not enough on something like this, it just doesn't make sense to me. There's other watches where there's enough margin to go around, but I don't think there is on this one. Let's see. Now I could be wrong about it being hard to sell, but I remember a conversation between like PJ and Cal. There's a fly here. It's bothering me. Okay, that didn't lead to any more listings. That's fine. Watch Crusher. This dude sells a lot of watches. That's a bummer. But he's very happy he has that Mecha 10. It's super hot. This King Power is really dope, but King Powers I think are 48 millimeters, so there's just no way that I would be a buyer unless it was an insulting dollar. Okay, I follow this person, which means there's somebody in the business. You gotta put more in your description there, buddy. You can't just have this basic description and get away with it. Sorry, there's like a little tiny gnat or something in my apartment. Or my Airbnb, not even my apartment. Sad. Okay, did I look to see if this led to any more leads? Let's do that. We have 2 viewers. I'm curious, Bravery, who the other person is besides you. Unless it's counting me as a viewer, but I don't think it was. I think it said 0 viewers when I started streaming. Moving watches. So you see how they put their company logo here in the back? So that's how you can find them. So I'm not going to bother clicking that. Class timepieces. These are some interesting photo choices by people that are in the business. If I'm clicking your listing, that's not a good sign. Tungsten with titanium screws. This is a good description, in my opinion. Like, if I could offer, not in critique, I'll offer praise here. This is nice. It has all the keywords, etc. This is like standard. This is like standard for anybody that's looked at a Watch Trading Academy description. Okay, this is a good opener. This is nice. Good job to show people like, here's the retail, and wow, look how much you're saving. This one's listed for 9.3, brand new at 17K. And again, that's kind of like the appeal of Hublot, right? Like, they have such high MSRPs. When someone sees you with one at the club, like, did you pay 9K or did you pay 17? They don't know. And that's kind of the appeal there. This one, it looks like has the same movement as the other thing I was looking at, so maybe we'll see what the movement looks like on this, if I could see it. Yeah, this is a good description, like to the point, like very concise, has all the important details. I think the photos could be a lot better though. Like, so you took this photo like outside, but it's in the shade, and that, well, you don't want it like in direct sunlight, but you also want to make sure like it's like the lighting is there and it's bright, because especially on a dark, like a black subdial, I mean, sorry, a black dial like this, I can't even like read the watch from here. And so some people will be like, I don't want to buy this thing if I can't even read it, but in the light, like, you totally could read it, I'm sure. Okay, we can't see the piece we're talking about. Like I said, like I think you could do way better with the photos, and then this would sell quick. Well, it wouldn't sell quick. You got to work to sell it. But okay, let's see if anything results from this guy. Any others from here? This is going to be Alex Marin, I think. No, I mean that photo's like not high quality enough. I don't think. I'm just curious now. It's his style, but I don't think the photo quality is as good. Luna Rosa. That's interesting. It's worth looking at. Oh, Chasing Time. Okay, so this is he lives in Illinois. It's like maybe I won't say his name online, but I know exactly who this is. See? Illinois, told you. Mm-mm. Oh, let me see what other listings this draws us to. IWC Pilots Time Zoner. Interesting. Okay, nothing there. As you can see, like we're moving a lot faster than the other day. There's not as much to explain. There's a lot of like good listings to click on. This is a cool piece. But in the hands of a trader. And it's also in Brazil. So can't do too much there. That's tough. Gabriel, if you're watching this, Gabriel, you're in Brazil right now. Maybe you could go get that watch. If you're not on the way back. I think you said you're not back until the end of March. I'm surprised an AP Millinery came up in this. Oh, it's because it's something else they're selling. I didn't know Maserati had their own version of the AP Millinery. Most people don't know this watch. Like most people don't know about this watch. The AP Millinery in general. It's pretty artistic from AP. AP being famous for their Royal Oak, and then the new code, 1519, whatever it is. A lot of people are not fans of, but some people don't know that AP made this way more abstract piece, and I guess this is a Maserati special edition. Now here's kind of the problem. Um, I don't know if a Maserati owner is also the type to buy this kind of watch. Even though this is the Maserati edition, like that seems like it would make sense from a connect a buyer to a seller or connect a seller to a buyer. But I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of like people that own like Maserati GTS that are pre-owned. They're like sub 100K cars. Is somebody buying that also buying a $16,000 gold AP Millenary? It's not even like the hot AP that they want to show off to, because if you own like a Maserati GT, that is like young money. Uh, it's flashy, and you'd probably want a Hublot or an AP over this artistic AP. I'm sorry, AP Royal Oak over this artistic AP. That's like my guess. I could be totally wrong. I'm curious there, but somebody buying this, it's usually not going to be their first AP. They've got to like be a fan of APs and like I don't know. It's just like Maserati doesn't. A Maserati owner doesn't strike me as the buyer for this. But interesting to look at nonetheless. Let's see what this listing pulls up. A couple other millineries. Ecopod Hemipode Auto Flying Tourbillon Rose Gold Chronometer. I'm gonna click on that because that's just the wildest thing I've ever seen. A gram tourbillon. Oh, I think these grams. Some of them look cool, but they are the dollars on them are kind of crazy. I mean, think about it. That's a used tourbillon for 16K, and there's probably a lot of negotiating room between that and like dealer trade-in on that piece. IWC Pilot. Why is this only 3K? I feel like that should be more than 3K. Oh, I brought up the Alinghi earlier. Here's a Royal Oak Offshore forged carbon. Curious to see what condition the forged carbon's in. Oh, this is also their listing. This is like a wild. I've never heard of this company. I've never heard of this watch. I've never seen this watch before. I would never buy this watch personally. This is one of those things where like all of the value is in the fact that it's like gold and a tourbillon. Let's see, is there anything else to? I mean, this is like it looks like a concept piece for like a niche like micro brand. This is in Michigan. Okay, IWC. So it says it's a blue watch, but it looks black. So that gives me an angle here. Like most people don't realize that, like in the right lighting, this probably would look like really hot, but they photographed it in the dark, so you can't tell. I do not know why there's that cartoon on the case back. IWC edition something. I don't know if this is like a special edition or something. I don't know why there's that image on the back there. They got it from Tappers. Oh, the Petite Prince. Okay, I guess that is like on brand. Maybe they do have that on there. Interesting. Not my price range for IWC though. I want to be dealing other pieces. Okay, they've got an offshore Lingy. Is this trapped in Brazil? Okay. That's tough. Can't imagine there's, well, there are buyers in Brazil, but that's like a whole other world. I have no idea how like their banking system works or like how to safely move money around. I only know how that works for America, to be honest. International, it can get a little weird. Okay, off that, we're quickly looking at a bunch of APs. This is a naked AP. I can't really work with that just yet. Here's another Alinghi offshore. There's another one. This one's probably not going to work out, but I clicked it anyway. Okay. So that sent us on a AP chase. We'll get to that. I actually, to be honest, like, I'll be more comfortable with APs like by next month. Still doing some homework. So this is another jeweler. This looks naked. When you start getting into like APs like this, I don't know about this one in particular, but like the box alone for these can be like 5K because this is a very limited watch. If you don't have one, what are the odds anyone else in the world has has one? So they can cost a pretty penny. Like for other watches, a box is like $100. It's nothing special. And then for a special edition like AP like this, it could have a very special box that ends up literally costing 5,000 or more. No, actually, let's see what this leads us to. Las Vegas AP. Oh, I am not a big enough boy for this piece yet, but in due time. Nope. Oh man, it just keeps recommending me like the same watches for sale by this same jeweler. Sorry, I forgot to check. Everything I click on could lead to something else cool. Like that. Let's see. I remember when AP divers were like 14 grand. Yeah, this exact watch right here was like 14 grand not too long ago. They're at 30 now. This is supposed to be like the entry level AP and it's at 30K almost. Crazy. These used to be like 20K, this AP Bumblebee. And so when these like entry level APs that you want are getting priced out of existence, where do you go? You've got to go to like Hublot or some of the or like Gerard Perregaux or these other brands. This is probably a really good example of the problem with carbon APs is when they break, they really break. Like the whole point of a ceramic material is that it's very hard to scratch, but once you get to its like actual breaking point on the yield curve, it fractures. It doesn't like bend, like metal can bend, ceramic fractures. Like glass, carbon, etc. It shatters entirely once it hits its breaking point. Up until that point, like almost nothing happens to it. And like look at how this bezel looks like it was chewed up by a dog. And don't get me wrong, like some of these like forged carbon APs, they look like this in photos sometimes. But this one is like actually like messed up. Like this might be the worst bezel I've ever seen on a carbon AP. And I can't even imagine what the replacement cost is. But if you were buying this, you'd have to factor that in. Yeah, this has been something's like off about this. Like it's this is like really messed up. Like I think this has like been through an accident of some kind. Bank wire only, non-negotiable. Warranty until May 2020. If it's under warranty, why can't you fix how messed up everything is? Is that just a movement warranty? This is a dealer of some kind, maybe? Nope, just somebody with the most messed up AP of all time. I weep for this person. Mm. Don't do quartz. Okay, nothing there. Motion and time. See how like clean this carbon is in comparison to what we just saw? Like look at this. And then rewind and like look at how bad that forged carbon was on the other piece. This one oops. The bezel is like a different ceramic. It's not forged carbon, it's like ceramic. Well, forged carbon is a ceramic material, but this is a more standard ceramic bezel. What do we got here? And to be honest, this is like the weaker part of my game. I know someone like PJ like can actually message jewelers and stuff that have these and message them and work with them. I don't know like when I can and can't do that just yet. Like when it makes sense. Hope to learn that from him soon. because I stick to like buying off of like regular people. I've like to date, I've only bought like a couple watches off of jewelers, dealers of any kind. Just because a lot of time the pieces I'm working with, like, there's not enough money to go around. This is a good photo. That's a good watch too. Ulysse Nardin will get there. Hopefully by the end of the night. This is the Ulysse Nardin El Toro, right? I thought it was Del Toro. El Toro Perpetual? Okay, yeah. Another Time Trader listing here for the Alinghi. Different Alinghi than before. Rubberclad and rose gold. These are 50K now. Gotta love it. Titanium offshore. I read this as white men's watch, and I was like, all right. I can take a hint. Matthew Joseph. Do I know who this is? I don't think so. I do know a Matthew. I know several. Okay, this is a Rubberclad. Locust Valley, New York. Never heard of it. Okay, they left their phone number here, which I definitely will not call. I would always do a deal on eBay. What? Yeah, these are cleats. They sell cleats. Okay, from their they bought a watch from Salamanca's Watches a year ago. All right. So this is like a real person, not somebody in the business selling their AP Rubberclad. This is somebody I can work with. Am I spending all 50K that I have available? No. Can't do that. I could broker this piece though. Price analysis might be a little tough. It's so something I'll say. There's a lot of people that join Watch Trading Academy. Eventually, they get to the advanced stuff, and they're like, okay, well, how do I find out the price on a Rolex, an AP, a Patek, a Richard Mille? Because they're like, who knows where the price is going, and who knows like what the margins on some of them are, right? Excuse me. And his answer when I asked him a while ago, long while ago, was basically like, if you have to ask, you're not ready yet. If you've been doing this a while, if you've been doing trading, you can like intuitively figure out what these are like actually trading hands at. And there's a couple ways to figure that out. And so like yes, so essentially the course gives you everything you need to figure out the pricing on this. And then if it comes up in a newsletter, then you just have the price. But the markets change on these pretty rapidly. So how do you if the market is shifted, well then how do you know like what's a good price to pay? And the one of the advanced courses is about like long-term investing in watches, like 6 to 18 month plays. So for example, like if PJ's predicting this goes up over the next 6 months, then I might buy it for any discount I can get because I know that it's going to go up in the next 6 months anyway. Whereas PJ's not sure if it will, then I'm going to want to buy this like more aggressively and try and get rid of it quick, with some better marketing. So it's crazy that the gold Rubberclad is at 50K, and in 2019, the AP brick, The solid gold brick was at 50K. My first time meeting PJ, he let me hold the brick, and I was at the time essentially holding MSRP wise, like my engineering salary in my hands. That's always fun. And then he's got 2 million in watches in his personal collection now. Just 3 years later, 4 years later. Yeah, 3 years later. This is somebody I could actually work with. I would do my price analysis. I'd see if I could get this person there, and then I would this is an alarmingly good photo of this watch. Decent photo. But yeah, I would try and broker this piece to somebody in the group. Okay, I already saved the listing, right? Yes, I did. Oh, whoops. Let me see if I missed anything. So see, if I just gave up on the APs, I would have totally missed that listing. Schumacher. I think I know who this is selling that one. This is a comp for the rubberclad. No, it's not. This is a comp for the rubberclad. This is at 42. They might not actually. Well, it's a 42 millimeter, and they might not actually have it. When you're dealing with like APs like this, now it really matters as to, do these people with these watches for sale, do they actually have them? I forgot. Is this the AP Summer or the Japan Diver? Japan, okay. Japan edition. Yeah, it's a Japan Diver. My bad. These are beautiful watches. I really like these. This is 72. I remember when these were like under 50. Not too long ago. Actually, let me keep that open. Oh, these are probably being sold by the same person. Yeah, watches on demand. See, these are sold by the same person. New AP diver. 38K for an AP diver, bro. That's crazy. What a time to be alive. Jewelers on time. Again, I don't know which jewelers I can and can't work with on certain pieces like this. I don't have that kind of knowledge. Like, there, maybe not in the current market, but in the past, there used to be like APs out there that dealers were buying for 30K, listing for 50, hoping somebody buys at 40, and then somebody like PJ comes along and offers them 32, and they need to liquidate that piece because they'd rather have the 30K invested into something else, and then PJ gets it for 32 and sells it for 40, 42, whatever it is. Rolex 18K yellow gold Daytona factory black jewelers. This is a jewelers on time listing. I'm surprised they took that photo. Okay, Schumacher AP. This person tried to take good photos outside, but they ended up like, these are like out of focus. Or I guess that until I clicked on it. Now I click on it and it's like fine. But here it looks like out of focus. I think that's again just a sizing issue. Like if this person zoomed in on the watch, like cropped everything else out, and then fit the image to the screen, this would be a phenomenal listing. And they would have used this photo instead as the first photo. But again, crop it all the way to just the watch, zoom in, make the images right size. This would be a good listing. Not this photo though. This doesn't really do anything. Top Gun Racing 1, okay. Watch collector, exotic car collector. Is this somebody in our groups? Oh, Premier Motorsports. I probably know who that is. My criticism still stands. I think with like minimal effort, this like listing could be a lot better. I've got a good amount of stuff for sale. Like this regatta. I'd buy this. I will look into who this person is. If they're not in the group, then I might be able to work with them on some of these pieces or do like a combo deal on something. Because if they still have this regatta, I would like that. Because that probably will sit. And then, yeah, some of these big boy APs I'd have to broker because I'm not dropping all the money I have on one AP. That's would likely not be in this current market the best financial move. Okay, still have 2 viewers. I appreciate who you like committing to just hanging out with me here. I hope you're like doing something else in the background. That's totally fine. Jacksonville, Florida. Uh my friend Chris might know who this person is. Jacksonville, I imagine, is a smaller town when you're dealing with people that have that kind of bankroll. Oak Pictet. I don't know what that is. I'll click on it. I just don't know what that is. This is this Cal or Camden? Neither. Interesting. Looked like a listing they would do. Were they located? Sarasota? Dude, is every watch for sale from Florida? This must be why I actually moved here. Alright, here's a diver. Let's see. Click on that. I do not know. I'm not in WTA Part 3 yet. I will be by the end of... If I'm getting coached by Cal next month, I'll buy it at the end of April. So then I can be tracking markets and start making like better... I can consult my clients better. Fine. Demers, Piguet. Deep Sea with Relas Crown. This fine watch has been purchased in 2017. This is a jeweler? They're in Beverly Hills, but this is a... It's very odd. They have a... Their eBay profile didn't make it look like that. I think this is called the AP Elephant. Yep, Elephant. Watches and more? Man. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump straight from Hublot to AP, but we've been kind of on a roll of investigating pieces here. And again, like I said, this is probably like a weak area for me at the moment. I still have stuff to study. Let's see. I will not be accepting payment through escrow, only through eBay checkout. This way eBay will authenticate and we'll both be protected. Hmm. Okay. Don't blame him. I only take wires anyway, myself. Man, Watch Crusher again. Yeah, seeing these higher end pieces, like a lot of the dealers like to work with these higher end pieces. Because I mean, think about it, like the time it takes to like do all the necessary work of like buying, negotiating, getting a watch, doing photography, listing it up for sale, marketing it or whatever on an AP, like however long that takes you, you might make like 5K on that deal, and then it takes like the same amount of work on like a 3K Omega where you're only going to make like 500 bucks, right? So one of those deals pays all of your bills for the month. One of those pays for your car. So if you had to pick one, you know, APs, Rolex, Patek, etc., they put a lot of they put what's the word for it? They put dinner on the table for a month. I gotta get to know who that guy is. Salamanca's watches. He's local to me. Let's see, AP offshore titanium. Is this like a travel box for this? That's a bummer. Serviced 4 years ago. If I remember right, the interval for AP is like 2 years. So that could be a problem. I'd have to see how well their watch is running. They're in Texas. I'll pocket this. But what worries me is that box. He does have a card. That's nice. But I think the box is supposed to be bigger there. See, can I figure anything else about this person? Selling a date just? Okay. So again, if I can offer this person a package deal. They have a negative review for they agreed to sell an S-Class and they backed out of it, I guess, as the seller. They're a car person. Yeah, they bought a bunch of car stuff. That makes sense. Car guys and watch guys go along. That's why I like to cater to both communities. Let's look at this Rolex they have. Okay. Let's see, 116233. If I had to place the year on this, I mean, based on the bracelet, it has a card. I'm as you can tell from the other day, like I don't do a lot of Rolex. I mean, if I had to guess the year on this, I would say like 2000s. Just because it has that card. I don't think they had those cards in the 90s. I'd have to double check. Let's see. Was I right? Wrong? I'm curious now. What year are these watches from? See, any of these have like a dated card? Here's wins listing. Let's see. Is that a 90s bracelet actually? Might be 90s. I said 2000s originally. I'm going to go back and say 90s. I'm learning here like real time, so you all are stuck with me. All of them are saying year unknown. $2015. They've been really making that reference for that long? Totally different like bracelet. $2007? Okay, I said 2000s. Right, so I think I was like close-ish. But yeah, I could offer this person a package deal. Just making a note of that. And find out why are they selling these. Interesting to have both of these for sale. Oh, I guess let's find out what Rolex it's going to lead us to. Nope, nope. Yes. Tag Heuer, cool. That's what I was looking for. One feedback, that's a concern. So see, like this watch looks fine and all, but now the concern is like, hey, this person's never sold anything else on eBay. They've sold like one thing on eBay. It's allegedly a complete set and everything, but like, what if? Wow. It's almost, this watch just turned a year old. What did they buy before this? No idea. Okay, I'll pocket this. This is interesting, but, you know. Date just 41. Blue dial, fluted bezel. From Smyrna, Tennessee. Can't say I've had the pleasure of ever going to Smyrna, Tennessee. Just Nashville and Chattanooga on my drive down to Florida. I had a sandwich in Nashville that almost killed me. It was like BJ's, I think is the name of the place. You walk in, there's like a layer of smoke in the air. It's amazing. And I had the mild Nashville hot sandwich. The mild, because I was told the mild is spicy. And then as opposed to like their actual spicy flavor. So I chose the mild, and it took me 20 minutes to eat that sandwich. And I will say, if you've ever had like mango habanero at like Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop or something, it was hotter than that. This is their mild. It's hotter than the mango habanero at some of these places, and I was a hot mess. And this is like on my drive to like move to Florida. I'm stuck in Nashville now for an extra half an hour because I'm sitting here like there's tears coming out of my eyes because of how spicy this sandwich is. My sinuses are totally cleared, and I look like I look like the Michael Jordan crying meme as I'm sitting there in this restaurant forcing myself to eat this sandwich. And then I literally got like my hands were like shaking by the time I got back on the road. I had an adrenaline rush. My fight or flight response was activated from eating this sandwich at BJ's in Nashville, uh, off of like what is that highway 72, just on the other side of the south side of Nashville. Like after you've driven through Nashville, next to the highway, there's like a BJ's that I pulled over to. But even though I was dying, the chicken and the flavor was like good. I was just in misery. And I double checked with the lady at the end, and I was like, "Hey, like, was that actually the mild, or did you give me the spicy on X?" And she's like, "No, that was the mild." I was like, "Okay then." But like I'm Indian, I eat some spicy food, but that was wild. Let's see. I really want this piece. I really do. Hublot Spirit of Big Bang Mecha 10. I really want this piece. I think it's really cool. It's basically the baby Richard Mille. If you can't afford a Richard Mille, you get one of these. No one has to know. See, this is what I mean. Like that Mecha 10 movement is so cool. So Hublot, do not sleep on Hublot. I think they make some like very creative pieces too. Like one of my favorite watches that I want is the Hublot Sang Bleu, which they've made another version to. I don't think it would do well from a trading standpoint. Like that's very unique. That is something I would want though. Okay. They probably added this sentence in after it was in like PJ's newsletter and they probably got a million messages. That's what happens. But this is somebody I talked to in a couple weeks to see if this is still for sale, and now if they're willing to change their mind. So I would really like this watch. Yep, it just sucks. I think PJ called it out on one of the newsletters, and then a lot of members like rushed to go offer them exactly what PJ told them, and then like they get a million messages in one day, all offering them the same price. But we'll see if it's still up in a couple weeks. Okay, nothing really here. Oh, actually, something I want to do from that Mecha 10 listing. I need to see where else it points me. Actually, also let me learn more about this person just so I know for next time. They've got Prada, Jimmy Choo. Okay. Sold in IWC. Seiko. They've sold an odd watch here or there. It's very interesting. A bunch of Seikos, and they've got this Hublot Mecha 10. That's interesting. In New York, New York. TVG Miami. I know that name. How do I know that name? This is probably somebody in Watch Trading Academy, or they just learned how to phrase their stuff from Cal's listing. Still have 2 viewers in here. I'm amazed you guys have stuck in here with me. I appreciate that. Okay, I think this is somebody like in the business. Or like a new trader or something. So I definitely recognize that name. I don't know why. and then their listing makes me think that they've learned a thing or two about how to sell. Photos could use work though. I mean, I guess I'll pocket it just in case, but I doubt it. Really doubt it. Timepieces of Naples. Naples, Florida. Classic Fusion Ultra Thin. Cool, like, niche piece. There's a tourbillon version of this too, for not that much more money, if I remember right. So it's kind of crazy. Let's see, what does this lead us to? It's in the hands of a dealer. This is a piece, though, that I think, I'm guessing here, this is a piece that if a dealer had and it wasn't moving, this they might be able to let go for a very aggressive price, and then there's still enough money to be made on my end to where it's like worth buying it at that price. So let me pocket this just in case. See if my hypothesis is right. Like the jeweler always makes money for sure, but you know, can they really work with me and take a smaller margin on that piece just because it's not every day a buyer comes for this piece. To be honest, like it'd be pretty tough for me to sell too. This doesn't look like a real eBay account. How long have they been on eBay? Let's see. 23rd, 2015? I mean, I guess. It's a crazy name for an eBay account, though. It's very suspicious. One photo. Wouldn't be surprised if they stole it. Like, stole the photo from someone legit. Hublot Classic Fusion. I got this Hublot for sale. OG box. They're young. Otherwise, they wouldn't say OG box. That's something I would say, but not in a listing. MSRP 10.4. Side dealers 8,100, 8,500. That's outside the country. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what this sentence means. I have like some very high suspicions about this piece. So like here's an idea of like how you protect yourself. This person has a strange name. They've only done 2 transactions on eBay, and then they only have like one photo, right? And then there's some interesting wording going on here. So I would need to like really vet who this person is. I would need way more photos before I consider buying something like this, and I would want to go to a watchmaker. So I could reach out and be like, yo, where are the other photos? It's also mislisted because this is clearly a chronograph, but they haven't listed that word chronograph. Oop. Losing my chair here. Mega Seamaster Aquaterra, that looks gold. Interesting. I just want to see it. This is like an ancient Aquaterra. It's also, I don't know if this is real. I'm not interested at all. I just thought this was interesting to see. Yeah, women's Aquaterra from back in the day. Okay. This is a good listing to go after. I would just need better photos of the important pieces here. This looks like it's in really, really good condition. But it looks naked. That's a problem. It's in Miami. That's a problem. Even though I'm in Miami. But there's a lot of scammers out here in Miami. Yeah, so I'd really need to take a good look at that case back if I was ever going to be serious about this piece. says with original packaging, yes. I don't see any photos though. So I would really ask if this is a full set. If this is, did I miss it? Was there the card or something in any of these photos? No. Let's see. They have another Hublot. They have a very expensive bike. If I'm not mistaken, these kinds of bikes are like full carbon fiber. Like you could lift them up with like a finger. So they're big into cycling, I guess, and they got the money to buy a more than $2,000 bike. So that's a good sign, actually. Like they have clearly an expensive hobby, so it would make sense that they'd have a watch like this. 43 people watching. I don't know why this hasn't sold yet, but I'll check it out. Athletic Lux Dope. I like the ring. Got a championship ring on. Is that what I'm seeing? All right, big baller. So in this photo, the screws here look red. I want to say that's the reflection of their shirt. That happens to me when I take photos. Like here, you see that red? I'm confident he's wearing like a red shirt in these photos. So, okay. So this is what I mean. You see how here the date is like down, it's like changing, but in this case it makes sense because look, it's almost midnight on the watch. That makes sense that this is like getting ready to change. So that's, I'm not ruling the watch out on being real just from that. This pouch he has is from what I believe is an expensive watch box, so that also lends to his credibility. Or no, this is the Hublot. This comes with that box. Never mind, I lied. But is this person in the business? This looks like somebody in the business. Yep, definitely. Do I know this person? I don't recognize these other listings. But this is a good diversity here. They've got a Bell and Ross. Okay, well, interesting brand diversity. They've got Bell and Ross, which is more entry level, a mid level Ulysse Nardin, or I really like an entry level Ulysse Nardin, and then they've got a Hublot. Like very different price ranges. If this was like a lower price range, this would make more sense from a portfolio standpoint. Um, you'd probably want something a little bit more popular in here. But okay, I know who this is. I'm not sure they have this watch anymore. That's also somebody in Watch Trading Academy. If I'm not mistaken, he should be coming up on the 100K club. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't hit it already. I forgot, honestly. Next Level Technology LLC, Lake Mary, Florida. Bro, Florida, I guess, is just where every watch in the world is. At this point, this is getting ridiculous. There's that gummy leather strap. Those are cool. It's a chrono. Includes box and papers, card. Are they a dealer, though? I think they're a store. I don't think they sell watches. Yes, they sell other things. This is good. That means like they know what they're doing, but they're not in this business. So a lot of computers. American Marxism hardcover by Mark R. Levin. Okay. Cool. This is somebody I can work with, actually. And again, this person mislisted it. They didn't mention it's a chrono. So that's a keyword missing from the search on this piece. I have this person saved, which means they're a dealer or a watch trader. Oh, actually, on the previous listing, on the previous two, did I see what other recommendations they made? Let's see. Okay, nothing there. Bottom of this. This one I doubt, but I'll click it anyway just in case. I have authenticity concerns on this one. Well, it's got the card. It's important. I would want more photos of the movement here. You know, with that rotor out of the way so I can really see everything. Because that Hublot text on the rotor looks small. I don't know if they came like that ever. And then, like I said, this is covering the usual tell for cheap movements. Oh, but I guess this is a dealer, maybe? Oh, they've got a good amount of watches. Okay, I could be wrong then. Interesting inventory. Is this a like how many watches does this person resell? Haven't sold anything on eBay in over a year. They've got 4 watches for sale. It's possible they're liquidating a lot of stuff because they just listed these two. This is someone to like talk to see like what is their deal? Are they actually like in the business or something? Because okay, let's look at their new listing. Let's see how their description looks. Yeah, this is somebody that like looked like a dealer based on their first description. But now based on these, it's not. This is somebody to look at. Maybe they're like in a pinch and liquidating everything. Maybe they don't have any of these anymore. Someone to investigate. Okay. Let's see. Still 2 viewers. You guys are crazy for hanging out with me this late in the game. I appreciate it for sure. No, I really mean that. Cool. Here are all these Hublots that didn't pop up on our first search, but I have a feeling some of them are like not in the country. There's some serious effort to try and sell this. They've got good potential for taking good photos. I don't know if they did as well as they could have. I think I follow this person on Instagram. Only selling that piece. Pretty sure we're friends on Instagram. I don't know. Let's see, do I save this or no? I'll find out what's going on here. I think there is somebody like new to trading, or maybe they were in Watch Trading Academy last year and they This was their like one and done. Maybe they'll come back to trading later. That happens every now and then. I mean, that happened with me. Like I learned this stuff. I didn't trade for like 2 years until I found out you could buy stuff on credit. Most expensive 2 years of my life in terms of opportunity cost. Could have been 2 years ahead of where I am today. Quality Diamond San Diego. I'm glad I'm getting tired. Last night I went to bed at I stopped streaming at 2, and then I was like doing the dishes, and then like next thing I knew, I was going to bed at 6 in the morning, and then I woke up today at noon, and then I like worked all day on stuff, and then I started the stream. So I'm really glad I'm getting tired, and it's only 11:30. I can go back to a normal sleep schedule. Like I tell people I'm a night owl and I can easily stay up. I didn't have any caffeine or anything. I didn't have any caffeine past like 4 p.m. yesterday. So like the fact that I can stay up till 6 in the morning like that is a testament. Oh yeah, I was like designing like a YouTube logo at like 4 in the morning on like Canva. Let's see, I didn't see anything at the bottom here and really nothing clicked. This one, I should have clicked this one. I'm gonna doubt it, but I'll click it. Conch436. I recognize that name. Oh, this was yesterday. We were looking at this, but then we saw on Chrono24 that it's sold. So we stopped caring. But because I clicked it, what else shows up? That. Right. We're still on Hublot. It's been hours on just Hublot. I have all these leads. Including the time I set. Oh, this is TVG Miami again. Oops, I clicked on that before. You know, in the deal finder like training, I used to like laugh as PJ would click the same listings over and over again, but now I get it. I'm gonna eat my words here. I already have this listing saved from Monday. That's what I thought. Hey, Colt Mary, this is like gold. Oh, 41. Oh, darn it. If that was 44, that'd be great. Okay, nope. Watches on demand. Bummer. I mean, we've run into so many of these. So I should have some like solid negotiating power against comps. He's definitely posted these on the forums. It's like I know these photos. My apologies for yawning, but it is 11:30. I've had a long, stressful day of browsing the internet. He just wouldn't understand. Good watch place. Okay. Nada. ProFlip USA. Spring Valley, New York. Oh, they just didn't feel like doing the whole description thing. All right. Just not doing it, huh? What do you have in your store, sir? Some interesting inventory. 14K Hublot King Power. Jacob and Co. This is a really cool watch. I've seen a couple people try and sell it. I think this is like a really cool watch for the price. Um, when it comes to buying inventory, it's not my first choice just because it's Jacob and Co. Like they're famous for those really high end pieces, and they're kind of like their biggest fans are not people that can afford their watches. From my experience, like they're the ones that make these like really crazy, really cool watches that get a lot of attention from people that can't buy them and won't be able to buy them like ever. Uh, but some of their pieces are you know like fabulous and like just very very intricate. So that's why like this is interesting. This is like, hey, it's like a Jacob and Co, but it's priced very well, very accessible at 15K. And I mean, look at it; it's actually like really cool. Frank Mueller, Vanguard. Okay, Hublot white ceramic. This would be really dope. Okay, I don't see any problems there. They blurred out the edging though. Like they blurred out the numbers in they like pixelated the numbers. Just the way they're taking these photos, it looks like they're in the business. And they're in Japan, so this is pointless. Darn it. I really wanted this. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Oh yeah, this was that like the new experimental like artist one. Yeah, Takashi Murakami. Uh, I don't have the data for this, so I'm gonna pass. Regardless of like your opinions on the art of it. I just don't. I make data. I make data driven decisions. In that piece, I don't have data, so I can't say anything. Yeah, this is who I thought had this watch originally. You, my friend, have moved to Florida, so you might want to update this. This is a really really cool watch. This is like, I mean, this is like ceramic. It's not plastic. Shit, what comes up now that I've clicked on this? Okay. That was all of the Hublots, and let's see. Just from that, it's been 2 hours 20 minutes, including a lot of me like talking, a lot of me taking my time, blah blah blah. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 leads on just Hublot. And this was like not me. Like this was me working slow, obviously, because I'm explaining what I'm doing and whatnot, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say because I'm on camera and stream and whatnot. Uh, I very easily could have just done all of that in an hour. So that's 14 leads. I convert 3 in 20. Most people should aim for like 1 in 20. And so if I'm at 14, like there's a good chance like one of those Hublots ends up mine or the APs or whatever I found. So that was just Hublot. I've got, let's see, do I stream until 12? That may or may not be true in the current market, but you get the idea. And so if I can kind of become an expert in IWC and like really know them and build an IWC clientele, it's kind of like from a business strategy standpoint, big fish in a small pond versus like, yeah, I mean that thing, that's a good analogy, right? Like if I become an expert on IWC and I develop a lot of IWC clientele, I would essentially become like a big fish in a small pond. Like, because not a lot of people like to play in IWC. And if I'm willing to do it, you know, it's only me. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's obviously IWC ADs and there's like all other people and whatnot. But my point is that like I'm going to an area of like much lower competition from a dealer standpoint. And then, you know, they're like a well-known brand, so there's room there. There's room for innovation. There's room for me to like find a place for myself. So let's look up IWC. I mean, it's been a long time since I've looked for IWC. Let's see. Let me look at my notes about IWCs. Okay. And to be honest, like we don't even have to be done with Hublot. Let me actually look for just a couple. Let me let's see, Spirit. Because like I said, I really want to Spirit of Big Bang, so let me see what other ones are on the market. Because this would be, especially now that I'm down in like Miami, like this is a piece I would want to like wear as I'm like networking with people. Ugh, bummer. It's all Japan. I didn't think there'd be this many for sale. It's kind of crazy. Let's see, US only. That narrows it down. I have a feeling there'll be more listed on Chrono 24. See, there's this one. But I think that's OC Watch Guy. No, the photo's not as good as what OC Watch Guy would do. This is innovative. For those of you that don't know, like this is an art piece. I forgot the artist that makes these, but like it's kind of like a subtle flex. Like he's using it as a watch stand to hold the watch, which is what this might actually be. But I know this is not. This is not a cheap toy. It's like a sculpture. But now, like I mean, think of it from a buyer behavior. Like I see that. I know what that is. And so that's kind of a sign. Like when you're buying like multi-thousand-dollar sculptures, it's kind of a sign, you know, that you could probably afford the watch you're listing for sale, like that you like actually have it. Let's see. Illinois, North Riverside. No description. Is would I know this person? These are pretty good photos. I'm wondering if this is just something that sold like a very very long time ago. I wish like Chrono 24 gave me their first name. I could learn so much about them, but I'll pocket this just in case. Because I do really want one of these. Well, let me double check what size this is. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that should work. You know what? While I'm here, let me just look up these Unicos. See if there's anything attractive on the market that eBay wasn't showing me before. This is a crazy piece. Just overall. I'll show you what it is just to like kind of show people. 48mm, just can't do it. I'm not there yet. Don't have the clientele. Song blue. I mean, look at this thing. It's so cool. .48 millimeter. Didn't I click on this before or something? Maybe I saw it somewhere in like a dealer's like store. All right, let's see what we got here. This I just wanted to point out. This is like a cool Hublot, and this is what I mean, man. Like, would I buy this watch? No. Would I? Because I think it's like 48 millimeter. If this wasn't 48, though, I think it would sell really well. Because I mean, look at what it is. Like, this is like wild. I personally think it looks like good. Like, I think it looks like cool because of how complicated it is. So, like, I will just say I appreciate Hublot in that they're pushing the envelope. They're doing some bizarre things. A lot of the times it backfires, but some like some of the stuff they do is just objectively cool. Maybe it's just because I'm 27 that I think this looks good. Maybe I'm just uncultured. That's possible. Like I am a degenerate. That's possible. See the Formula One. See, I mean, this is what I mean. Like the bezel here looks like a brake rotor. That's cool. What an artistic way to do that. And then I mean, you look at the song blue. I mean, I love this watch. I hate this like the thing that they overlaid here, but so how this watch works is you've got two arrows here, two triangles that are actually filled in, and I think the seconds hand is I can't see because of this overlay. But long story short, how this watch works is a tiny circle rotates, and then the out like right now it is noon. It is 12:12. Like I think this is the hour hand, and this is the no. I'm sorry. This would be the hour hand. This is the minute hand, and these all like rotate around, and then somewhere around here is the second hand that rotates very frequently. Yeah, now you see. I actually don't remember what the case back looks like on this. Oh, it's just a cool like triangle rotor. This is such like an artistic. I think it's just really cool. I don't know what else to say. Interestingly enough, that this person has tattoos. When they debuted this watch to model it off, they like had somebody that had like a shaved head with like skull tattoos, like as in like tattoos on their head. That's kind of like the like artsy kind of person they had in mind for this. So I'm not surprised this person has a tattoo here, even though they're a dealer. But that's an interesting coincidence. Yeah, that's a watch I'd have to like buy for myself and wear to like get attention for like networking, but there's just that's a tough sell. You either love that watch or you hate it. And there's a lot of people that don't like that watch. So I'm definitely in the minority there. Okay, let me see if this has any interesting Unicos. A sky blue Unico. I think I looked at this one on eBay. Don't think I looked at this one. All right, just the second page. This one. This one. different people sell different things on different websites. Like it kind of depends on the watch. Like here's an extreme example. Like would you ever sell an AP on OfferUp or like Craigslist? It's very unlikely. Very unlikely somebody's out there one night on Craigslist and they're like, "Huh, like if I run into a 50K AP, I'll buy it on Craigslist." Like that doesn't it just really doesn't happen. I mean, go ahead and like list one on there, but just, expectations. Oh, reserved. Bummer. Can't see the part of the movement I need to take a look at the most. See, this person has like no description, but I've brought this up a couple of times. Chrono 24 and like accidentally did that to me where all of my watches for sale, the only photo up was the first one and all my descriptions got deleted. I have no idea how or why that happened. But this is a 2018. I don't know if it says what size. Okay, I'll pocket this just in case. All right. Got a gold Unico. Oh, dude. I actually just remember. I think PJ just sold one of these to the group, and I remember the price he sold it for. It is a lot less than this number. That's going to be some interesting negotiation on my part. If I can pull that off. Wow. It's unworn. I mean, maybe. Okay, I will pocket this if I can get this person down. That'd be wild. But I mean, basically, I could couple angles for this. I could offer it to the group for if I get it for less than what PJ paid, and then I offer the same deal to the group based on like the money that you can make on this, or I try and sell this myself. It's a lot of money to park though. For me, with the capital I have at my disposal. Yeah, you would not believe what what you would buy this for. Okay, Hublot Spirit of Big Bang. This is, I mean, just to critique this listing, if this person was like seriously selling stuff, I'm debating if this is like an eye-catching thing. I would do like the main photo is just focused on the watch, but then in other photos have this piece in there as like your identifying thing. And again, it builds credibility because of, the people that know, they know that that's not a cheap toy. Ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing here though. Watch and box only? In Arkansas? That's rough, buddy. I love Arkansas, actually. I lived in Little Rock for 2 weeks. They've got like hot springs in the downtown. You can just like walk up with a empty gallon bottle and just fill up with like boiling hot spring water and then go drink it. Let's see. I don't know if like the no papers is a deal breaker on this one, which is like a card on Hublot as far as I know. I'd have to figure out how to get this thing authenticated. See, are there any others on the market? That's the only one of that specific reference in the US. So what is the price? It is what people are willing to pay. Sounds simple, but think about it. Okay, back to IWCs. Right, new. I don't like that. I'll click on it. Maybe they accidentally put new, but chances are it's not actually new. I like this one. Already looked at that one. This is like a jewelry store. Traders. Potential jewelry store? Oops. This is the Top Gun, so it'll have like the U.S. Navy on the back from the movie. I remember it being more colorful than this. Maybe it's a different version, or maybe this one's like old. The newer one would have more color, maybe. Charleston, South Carolina. So local to Parker, unless he moves somewhere. Oh, this is problematic. They bought it from IWC January of 2022. 2 months ago, they bought this. They are going to try and recoup as much of their money as possible. But I will give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Okay, let's see where that leads us. I think that's jeweler, like a wholesaler or something. Same here. IWC is popular because it's has a lot of like military roots, and then like it appeals to a lot of engineers. IWC sponsors the Mercedes Formula One team, so those kind of go hand in hand. So I'd try and like sell not these pilots, but like the IWC engineer. I would sell to Mercedes guys. Is this a brown dial? Yeah, brown dial. Interesting. Off. They were on the waiting list for this. What is going on in this world? Sino, California. I don't know how the brown dial would do on this. I'm trying to think of like when would a brown dial make sense? But I'll take a look. Worst case, I buy it at like bottom dollar and then I give it to the group for a quick flip. Saint Exupery. Is this like a special edition or something? Did I miss that? Am I reading this right? They paid $4,950 for it. They're listing it for $4,950. Come on, man. Come on, man. Please read. Joke's on you. I can't read. What are you going to do now? The bronze Spitfire. Interesting piece. Especially if the dial's green, I feel like that'd be a good combo. Just what I think that is. But this is Saint Exupery brown dial. Like it sounds like it's for a special edition, but I don't see anything like special like written on there. It's probably on the case back, but they don't have photos of that. Let me just make a note of this. Saint Exupery. So I can look that up later. Then yeah, this is the bronze. I've had the Tudor Bronze Bay. I've never had a a bronze IWC. It's an interesting market. Kind of like the whole appeal to bronze is that the watch will wear and tear differently on different people based on where they live, how often they go swimming, the chemical makeup of their sweat, and it'll develop what's called a patina. The patina essentially, like rust is a form of patina, like rust on any metal is technically a patina. But what they're meaning here is that not that it'll rust, but the bronze will discolor with patina slash rust. Not the like gross kind you're thinking of on like a fence or something. But long story short, over time this will look a certain way, and it's unique to each person. So that's kind of like the cool selling point. If you were to hang out in a lot of like salt water near like New York, this would turn Statue of Liberty green because the Statue of Liberty is made out of bronze, and that like salty air turned it into that seafoam green color. So that's what this watch could become if you were in New York and swam with it every day in the Atlantic. Not sure why you would do that, but in most cases it turns out like very different than that. But alright, I saved the other one. I didn't save this one. So this is an interesting piece. Where are they located? New York? I don't know. Maybe they're swimming in the Atlantic. It's possible. So yeah, like I said, the dial is green on this, which makes sense for the bronze. I think you can photograph this really well and really sell it. And by you, I mean me. That's just a joke. Anybody obviously could get good at photography and sell that. Blue men's watch. I think I clicked on this already. I'm not going to click that. Brand new. No, thank you. Okay, just a nice little classic IWC. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. Did my internet drop or die? Well, if that's the case, I apologize. says I'm still live. Twitch is probably freaking out. I have no idea what's going on here. I think I'm losing internet. No? Maybe? I can't tell. Is it eBay by chance? All right, I have it's either my connection or let's see eBay or Chroma 24. Is it okay? My internet works. It's eBay actually. That was the hiccup on eBay's end. Okay, I have no idea what that was. Because this person knows to like block out the stuff on the case back. I'll buy it now. I don't think so, buddy. It's an interesting aqua timer. Oh, it's the. Can I get a photo of just the front? Okay. You see, this person has like 2 IWCs. That's what I mean by like. It has a following, and I need to make myself an expert in it. Let's see, what have your recent deals been? Brightling Skyland. Wolfwinders. New Jersey Bimmers. Alpha Automotive. Okay, so they're a car person. Maybe offer this person a package deal, but figure out if their pricing is even somewhat realistic. Let's see where this aqua timer leads. Like that one. And nothing else. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. This looks a little small. As you can see, the time is like approaching midnight. That's why it looks like the date's changing. Looks a little premature though. It's I guess it depends on the company. This is a 44 mil. That does not look like 4. Okay, now it looks like 44 millimeter. I would want a video of this working. I really need to see that the date wheel is not like messed up. This would be a pretty low priority on my list to put in the inventory just because, like, I don't know how this watch doesn't like I like watches that people don't know they exist, but once shown them, they're like, wow, that's really cool. I gotta have it. I don't really get that from this piece. This would just kind of be like, hey, I want an IWC Aqua Timer, and then I happen to have this one. Like, there's nothing like really hot about this piece. So it would be pretty low priority for me. Because it might sit for a very long time. Because I don't know who's looking for a steel and yellow watch. Like, I think the watch is fine. If I had abundant capital, yeah, I'd buy it and, like, I'd let it sit. But I don't know how hard, like, I don't know, like, what I could do to, like, really get that thing moving. There's a hotter version of the Aqua Racer that would make a little bit more sense. I'm sorry, Aqua Timer. Because let me see. Like, I think a blue dial is hotter. I think this is hotter, where it's black and yellow. So, you get the idea. Or especially if it's in gold. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I mean, this is really cool. So this is more of like what I would want. Because now there's like a value proposition here. Because the MSRP you wouldn't even believe on something like this. Like, let me see if they say it here. 18K rose gold. Maybe the other listing has the MSRP. Which one did I click? Brentwood, Tennessee. Yeah, a $22,000 MSRP for a solid gold case on rubber, and you can have it for, it's listed at almost 50% off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's listed at 50% off. Like, let's just assume you really can get it for like 10K. Well, 10K for what used to be an MSRP 23K gold watch. That's pretty cool. In my opinion, that's very appealing to people. Let me see. I'll actually pocket this listing. I can't tell if this person, they've got some interesting photos. 56 people watching. This might be like long gone. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, this would be not an easy, it doesn't sell itself, like, you gotta present it to somebody. First class vendors. I wouldn't, I'm making this up, I haven't done the math or the calculations. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a buy for 7, sell for 9 kind of watch, even though they're listed at 12. Or buy for 8, sell at 10. I have no idea. I'm just, And what's beautiful is, like, when these two sell, like, this is 12.25, this is 12.5, when both of these are gone, and this is the only one left at 17, now you might pay 14 and think you got a good deal. And all three of these people paid, well, if they were all dealers, like all three of these people, I'm making this up, but like, let's say they paid like 9 or 10. I wanted to look at, the perpetual calendar I wanted to show you guys that I saw down here. Nope, it was on here. I mean, look at this one. So I'm telling you that this gold perpetual calendar that my buddy has at the Watchwinder Pros, this is an MSRP like 44K, 42K, something like that, because it's a perpetual calendar. Like, for those of you that don't know what a perpetual calendar is, especially these IWC ones, I mean, look at the complications. You have the time, obviously. You have the date, the day of the week. You have the day of. You have a power reserve. You have the moon phase. You have the month, and you have the year. And I know it's true for the perpetual calendar big pilots, but I think it would be true for this one as well. Perpetual calendars in general, that includes leap years, which means if you set this thing and make sure that it stays wound, it'll be accurate for like 300 years or something crazy like that. It's really, really cool engineering. Really cool engineering. And then, like I said, it's like 44K MSRP. It's listed for 21K. Who knows where you're actually buying this at? I haven't done the math. Let me see if he says the MSRP. We need to hang out now that you're in Boynton Beach. I don't know why I haven't done that already. We had a lot of fun at Salt 7 last time we ran into each other. You and the other high rollers in Watch Trading Academy. Well, high roller is relative to me. I don't know. Okay, just to prove my point, like I mean, let's look up the MSRP here. Oh, Turnow had it. Oops. Turnow probably has the MSRP. They're listed for 25K. Nope, never mind. Watchmax. Prestige time. 30K. I could have sworn this was way more. Which one am I thinking of that's 40K? I don't know if I trust that. Hold on. Let's find a second source. Is that really 30K? Which one? You know what? You know what it is? I think I'm thinking of the gold big pilot perpetual calendar. I think those are 40K MSRP, or maybe the newer version of that watch is. Let's see here. Okay, see, like this one is 55K, but this is obviously a very different watch. Digital date? Oh no. Don't do that. What is going on here? Watches. Portugueser. I love these. I want this one. I want this one. This is really cool. I want this one. Yacht Club Moon and Tide. I would take this one. Okay, see, I'm not crazy. Like we were essentially looking at the same thing as this. This is 40K. So yeah, 40K, brand new. Ooh, these pieces get just crazy. Won't even tell you the price on this one. All in due time. See, I guess maybe because this is older, that other website had the MSRP listed lower, but you get the idea. Okay, let me see. Look for some gold IWCs. Let's see what's available and on the market. Oh, it's a little too old. This is, I believe, in dealer hands, but I like it. Is this two-tone? I don't know what that. Brand new? Nope. All right. Interesting. I feel like Chrono 24 would also have a lot of listings for this. Is this two-tone or rose gold? Let's find out. Let's see. I'll grab that. I think I saw Parker sell this, and his photography on it made it look really good. But I don't remember if that was gold or not. I like those pieces. All right, let's see what we got here. Times pass. Nope, can't work with them. Nothing there. Motion in time. Yeah, see, I mean, look at this perpetual counter. I mean, this is more in line with like what would be up in the 40K range. MSRP, of course. This is in Britain. Is the case not? Is the case gold? I can't even tell. From the photos, I actually can't tell if this case is gold or not. Or if it's like some bizarre, like, cause here, look, like this looks like goldish. This is just a very like pale gold. Just cause the lighting of this person used. Like here, it looks like it's silver. Here it looks gold. I think. Below market motors. North Miami Beach. Bro, every watch in the world is in Florida. All of them. 100% of watches are in Florida. Like new, I wear my Apple Watch. What else do you sell, my friend? Motors. Let's see. Right. Well, I'm local to this person. This would be a cool piece. Okay, I don't know why I can't like click this. I don't blame them for the bad photos. eBay likes to destroy photo quality when you go to upload, even when you get the sizing right. Okay, card that's important. Tarzana, California. All right. Always been kept in a watch winder. For Jaeger LeCoultre, JLC, you're not supposed to put them on watch winders forever. I forgot what mechanism breaks when you do that. I used to know this. But if you have a JLC, if you even like read their manual, they'll tell you like do not like leave this on a watch winder for months. Uh, it'll wear out and damage components. I don't know if that would be a worry for this. I've only sold a couple things. It's been a while. Okay, if they're real, let's add this to the list of things. I just like really. I think these are very attractive watches. Like I'd love to wear this as a dress watch. Just like I mean this too. I'd really like to wear this as a dress watch to like a country club event or a Columbia event. Okay, I forgot if I checked where this leads. Some bizarre watches there. Chrono Swiss Opus Skeleton. Gonna pass on that. Some interesting pieces here. Chicago, greatest city on earth during the summertime. The best version of the Aqua Timer box only. I mean, that's. I don't know where that. What's the logic there? The box is like beat up too. Oakland, California. I don't know what this means, mate. Man, like I don't know what's going on there. Past month, sold a Tudor. It's good. I mean, I'd buy it, but I'd have to be in it dirt cheap, just because it's box only. Like dirt cheap, and I would also be very low on my priority list. Like when I go through and I message everybody, what I'm gonna do is basically look through all the watches I have here and go through like which are the ones I want in inventory the most and work my way backwards making offers and communicating with people until we'll see how much inventory I end up with. Small box. Boca Raton. Every watch in the world is in Florida. All of the other watches outside of Florida are not real. That is like, I mean, how many listings have I looked at tonight where there's been like 10 that have not been in Florida, and I've looked at like 100 the last 3 days. And you know, part of the reason I moved to Florida was like, as I was selling these watches, 90% of my watches were going to Florida or New York. And then some would sell locally to like the Eastern European population in Chicago that's like really into watches. But other than that, like, yeah. So I mean, I'm not surprised there's this many watches for sale in Florida. I don't know if I want this piece though. A little too simple. Like not even like worth the time. Like somebody should go buy that watch and try and sell it, but not worth my time. Like not even worth my time to like try and quick flip it, because that's time I could be negotiating with somebody for a better watch that like I really want and would be like happy to wholesale. Okay, so this is like copy and pasted. Because I don't think they sell watches. They sold another aqua timer a year ago. Interesting. They had multiple aqua timers. Gotta love these IWC guys. Okay, so that was the. Am I done with the? I'm not done with the IWCs. Engineer, and then we'll call it, and then Uh, I'll do other brands tomorrow. And I really gotta like actually start messaging these people so I can close these deals and have inventory for next week. Like ideally, I close a lot of these deals over the next couple days, and then I have a million watches showing up on Tuesday. Because deals can't get done over the weekend because the money doesn't transfer. Australia. Interesting. It's brand new. They're probably going to want to try and recoup their money. It's probably a waste of my time. I probably shouldn't have even have clicked that. That's hot. I like that. So it's very like Hublot looking like. Looks like a Hublot, is what I meant to say. Japan. This is Mauricio. Yep. This is who I said yesterday. Mauricio, it turns out Gabe was the one that PJ was talking about that just joined the 100K club, but I thought it was you, and I wouldn't be surprised if you are joining this year. I will race you there, buddy, because now my income depends on it. I have to make 100K club this year. I don't have a choice. Yeah, I wish I had your photography skills. There's a timestamp there. There's a watermark there for a dealer. Motion and time, I think. Oh, Japan. Okay, I was about to say gold. I'd never seen that. Japan. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. I'll go through these and we'll call it there. But tomorrow, like I'm gonna finish going through these. But tomorrow I'll go through the bigger ticket Panerai, Cartier. Oh, and Ulysse Nardin. I really meant to look at Ulysse Nardin today. I'll actually start with Ulysse Nardin tomorrow because I want to make sure I get like one of those nice pieces. I feel like I need like a gold watch. See, this is that other jeweler. Seem to have a lot of the stuff I want. DR4 Industries, where are you located? Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. DR4 watches, so they're in the business. They know what they're doing here. They're selling it with like a lot of like, there's a lot of just like stuff here that makes sense. Oh, this is hot. Looks really cool. I don't know why does this look better than the normal ones? But oh, I know who this person is. I've seen their watches for sale online on like the forums. If it wasn't in their hands, I'd be looking for that piece. Okay. Man, this guy looked like a cool piece. Honestly, like some of these IWCs, I probably could work with some of these guys that flip watches because their money's probably sitting in these things. Like even in Watch Trading Academy, there are people where their money's been stuck in a watch for like 2 months, and what'll happen is like they've tried to sell it for 2 months, it doesn't sell. They're like, here, just bail me out of this piece. Like you can buy it for what I paid, and then like that person maybe knows somebody. Something's a little different, and then they find the right buyer for it. Like there's been well, I can't give away too many details, but like there's been certain watches where like it takes somebody months to sell it, and PJ is able to sell it same day because he just knows like the right person to talk to. Like they after like 3 months of not being able to sell it, they said that they've tried everything, they can't figure out how to sell this thing, and then PJ buys it from them, bails them out, and sells it same day. So what's the difference with like why could that first person not find a buyer in 3 months, and why could PJ find one in one day? That's it's putting the watch in front of the right person at the right time. So okay, we didn't see anything there. Didn't see any engineers. Let me double check the list here to see if I didn't miss anything that I might want. Let's try this just to be sure. IWC. I know we were just looking at a bunch of these, but just in case I missed one, which is wording. I think this exact person, I was trying to buy theirs, and we were apart a little bit. I had to stick to my numbers. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do, actually, now that I just realized this, I feel like this is another brand where like they're going to be on Chrono 24 more than they're going to be on eBay. So let's see IWC Gold on Chrono 24. What comes up in America? And man, I would be so happy if I could filter by private seller and not dealer. IWC Portuguese Tourbillon Mystere White Gold. That's kind of nuts. Yeah, that's like a piece that like I would build this if I had the money and the resources and the buyer. I don't know who I would have for this, but I'd bail the jeweler out of, hey, you've got a lot of money sitting in that thing. Let me help you out there. Assuming they weren't able to sell it or something. This is wild. They have jeweler gloves on, but I didn't see this listing anywhere else. White gold, okay. Didn't I filter for the United States? Why am I seeing this? Get your act together, Chrono 24. Let's see, anything. Didn't see too much. Could just be how I'm searching, to be honest. Yeah, because let's try that. Let's do IWC Aqua Timer. That's really cool. It's like gold and black. Okay, see, like, where were all these gold IWCs, right? Oh, hold on, let me filter. It's only one in America? 8 in America, okay. But where were all of these, when I searched IWC gold? And it's because on Chrono 24, it's paying more attention to the reference number than the keywords. So let me do... Let me find another gold one so I could get the actual reference for it. Like a gold version of the ones that we were looking for that we were looking at on eBay, like this kind of gold. So let's see here. 3 in America, all in dealer hands. Okay, good to know. IWC Portuguese. Okay, those are both in dealer hands. This one I really like. Not in America. Okay. Well, this is not working out well. I'm gonna look really dumb on camera. Okay, let me see. This one. Nope. What about this one? The one that my friends have. No private sellers. Interesting. Looks like my assumption was wrong, or just, it's the bad timing. Let's look at this. Okay, let's try this. IWC Portuguese, sir. Okay. I don't know if that differentiated anything. Nope. I'd love one of these. It'd be crazy. Okay, what about this? It's a little too simple for me. Hello. There we go. That was America, right? Yep. I mean, look at this thing. This is white gold. It's new. It's a Tourbillon 69K. I mean, it's a very interesting buyer for one of these. Retail is $104,000. They're selling it new for over 30% off new. It's local to me. Uh, this is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought this for like 30K and was selling it for 70. I don't know. I haven't looked at my charts. Wouldn't surprise me. And yeah, they like, they plan on making 40K on this one watch. Again, I don't really know their margins. I didn't look at the charts yet, but it'd be something like that. This is a dealer, right? No, private seller. They've got the gloves on. So they might need to be bailed out of this piece. Time zone pieces. I think I know who that is. Maybe I'll talk to him. Right, there was nothing else. Nope, it's the only one. This looks like somebody that would be selling this on the forums. Like they've got good photos, but they don't do enough business to be a dealer on Chrono 24. Based on their wording, they sound trained. White gold. It's a little tough. I don't know. I'd have to be in that at a stupid dollar. I don't think I really have the clientele yet for white gold on that piece. This gold perpetual calendar though. From Denver. Okay, now we're done. So that was all the IWCs I can think to look at right now. We've got a lot of, I mean, we've been streaming for like 3 hours or something, 3 hours, 35 minutes. Still, wow. And this is only me with like, working with like 50K. If I had like 250, I would really like, I would only spend my time. Now I like understand why my friends that have, 500K, a million in capital or whatever, why they don't touch anything under 50K because they need to do so much hunting just to spend all their money. Now I get it. I really wish I did this like as of my next bye week. I'm gonna do this in the reverse order, where I look at the expensive stuff first and work my way down, so that this doesn't happen again. Because I've put in like way more time than is normally needed to hunt all these watches. I haven't even like actually messaged these people yet. to see how many of these close, but I have a huge portfolio here. So I'm going to start messaging people tomorrow during the day, and then tomorrow night hunt for Panerai, like high-end Panerai, Ulysse Nardin, I should say, JLC. Let's do that. Cartier. So that should be way more fun. Thank you for whoever stuck with me through this. If you're watching the replay, it's a lot of content to go over. If you've got nothing to do except hang out with me, I hope you guys end up joining me on the live stream so I can answer questions live. Again, reach out to me in the Facebook group if you need help with stuff, or on Instagram. If you're a collector, I hope you learned something. I hope you learned how to kind of spot some things. We went over a couple fakes in the video. Follow me on at Mohi Media on all the social media platforms. And I will be clipping parts of this video, and I'll be making more standalone videos, especially during, like, next week will be a sell week where I have a bunch of stuff for sale. So I'll be doing reviews on all the watches I have in inventory, and then how to you yourself, like, buy watches better, sell watches better, and then just other things about watches, personal finance, the market, etc. So it'll be lots of fun. So anyway,